Most people think making money in investing comes down to one skill: knowing exactly when to sell. They obsess over exits. They watch the charts every day. They panic when the market drops and get greedy when it goes up. Should I sell now? Is this the top? What if it crashes tomorrow? And so they keep jumping in and out, thinking that's how real money is made. But Charlie Munger, the legendary investor and right-hand man of Warren Buffett, had a completely different way of thinking. A way that sounds almost boring, but is incredibly powerful. He openly said something that would shock most people today. He's not good at exiting investments, not because he lacks intelligence, not because he doesn't understand markets, but because he never built his strategy around exiting in the first place. Think about that. While the world is obsessed with selling at the perfect moment, Munger was focused on something much deeper, finding investments so strong, so reliable, that selling them almost feels like a mistake. He didn't want a portfolio full of trades. He wanted a portfolio full of winners he could hold. Companies that keep growing, businesses run by people he respects, opportunities that compound quietly over time. And here's the part most people miss. Every time you sell, you reset the game. You pay taxes. You take risks again. You expose yourself to new mistakes. But when you hold something great, you let time do the heavy lifting. You let compounding work. You reduce decisions, and with that, reduce errors. And maybe, most importantly, you enjoy the journey. Munger once talked about the pleasure of watching a great company grow over time, of rooting for it, believing in it, and seeing it succeed. That's a completely different experience from constantly buying and selling, chasing small wins that often disappear. So instead of asking, "When should I exit?" he flipped the question entirely. What can I buy today that I'll still be happy to own 10, 20, even 30 years from now? That single shift in thinking is what separates traders from true investors. And in this video, we're going to break down this powerful philosophy, why Charlie Munger ignored exits, why he focused on long-term holds, and how this simple mindset could completely change the way you build wealth. Now here's where Charlie Munger's philosophy really starts to challenge everything you've been taught about investing. Because the average person treats the stock market like a game of timing. Buy low, sell high, get in, get out. Take profits before it's too late. Sounds logical, right? But Munger saw a hidden problem in that approach. Every time you sell, you interrupt the compounding process. And compounding is where the real money is made. When you own a truly great business, something powerful happens over time. The company grows, its profits increase, its value expands, and your money multiplies without you having to do anything. But the moment you sell, you reset everything. You go back to zero. You start searching again. You take new risks and often worse decisions. And on top of that, you lose money to taxes. So instead of your wealth compounding quietly in the background, you're constantly breaking the cycle. That's why Munger believed the real skill is not in selling, it's in choosing something worth holding. And this is where most people fail. Because finding a good company is easy, but finding a company you can confidently hold for 10, 20, even 30 years, that requires a completely different level of thinking. You have to ask deeper questions. Is this business truly strong? Does it have a competitive advantage? Is it run by people I trust and admire? Will it still be relevant in the future? Munger wasn't chasing hype. He wasn't looking for quick wins. He was looking for quality so high that time becomes your partner. And when you reach that level, something interesting happens. You stop checking prices every day. You stop stressing about market noise. You stop reacting emotionally because you're no longer playing a short-term game. You're building something long-term. And Munger said something even deeper than that. He talked about the experience of investing, about the satisfaction of owning a great company, watching it grow, and actually enjoying the journey. Think about that. Most people are stressed, anxious, constantly reacting. But his approach, it's calm, it's patient, it's almost boring, and yet incredibly effective. Because instead of trying to outsmart the market every day, you let time, discipline, and great businesses do the work for you. So the next time you feel the urge to sell, ask yourself this one simple question. Is this a bad investment, or am I just being impatient? Because according to Charlie Munger, the big money isn't in the buying, and it's not in the selling, it's in the waiting. So, at the end of the day, the lesson from Charlie Munger is simple, but not easy. Most people spend their time trying to be smart, timing the market, jumping in and out, chasing the next opportunity. But Munger chose a different path, a quieter path, a more disciplined path. He focused on finding a few great investments, and then having the patience and the confidence to hold them. No constant selling, no unnecessary moves, no distractions, because he understood something most people don't. Wealth isn't built in moments. It's built over time. It's built by letting great businesses grow, by letting compounding do its job, and by staying calm when everyone else is reacting. So instead of asking, so when should I sell? Start asking, did I choose something truly worth holding? Because if you get that part right, you won't need to worry about exits. And that's the real shift that can change everything. If this mindset opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me, are you a trader or a long-term investor? And don't forget to follow for more content like this, where we break down powerful ideas that can actually change your financial future.